Yes, my dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Very good morning to you guys all out there, wherever you are on the continent of Africa, in Europe, in America, in Canada, Australia, or right here in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. This is Salon's Vlog. Yes, in this Friday morning edition. Thank God it's Friday, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it is a Friday with a different World Cup qualifiers all around Africa. In fact, around the globe. Yes. Around the globe. But we'll be talking a little bit on Nigeria and Ghana playing their African World Cup qualifiers tonight. Both Nigeria and Ghana, they are playing their World Cup qualifiers tonight. I will talk a little bit about those two matches before I will let you go this morning. But quickly, we are starting right now from Chelsea. Listen, dear friends, few days ago, I started speaking a lot about Enzo Maresca, his tactics and the effect on Chelsea Football Club, the effect on the playing style and the form of the players. Right now, it has come to the limelight that Enzo Maresca, the head coach of Chelsea, yes, is seen as football and cultural fit. He is being seen within the Chelsea hierarchy as football and cultural fit. Despite the inconsistencies in the playing style and the form of the players, that it will take something truly unthinkable. It will take something truly unthinkable for Maresca to be sacked. So it's not about what we are saying here. It will take something truly unthinkable for Enzo Maresca to be sacked. No Champions League or no Conference League win are very likely to trigger his dismissal. No Champions League position or no Conference League title will not force the hand of this ownership to sack Enzo Maresca. That is what it means. So are very likely won't take much difference. Chelsea are looking to judge Maresca between 2 to 5 years. Chelsea are likely to judge Maresca only from his second season. Yeah, after 2 years. So right now, whether Chelsea qualify for Champions League next season or not, or whether we win a Conference League or not, it has no effect on the position or on the status of Enzo Maresca right now. It is what it is. For those of us that think, or those of you that are thinking that, oh, he's just about to be sacked, this ownership, they are seeing him as the future of the club. The truth is, he's not demanding. You buy him 10-year-old player, he will take it. Tomorrow he's 15, 16, you want to sell him and make profit, you let it go. You are bringing in new players, young players, and he's happy to work with the young players. He is not enthused about winning trophies. He doesn't really care whether Chelsea wins a trophy or not. His job is to train the lads, the young players that are coming up, not to win trophies. That is the way I see it right now. Listen, Chelsea owners and those close to them have always highlighted their desire to win and ambitions to match expectations in the long term. In the long term. How true is this? You see, these are PR gimmicks. This is being reported by Nisa Kinzela. If indeed the ownership, the owners are thinking on the long term, yes, their desire to win, no. Long term, yes. Desire to win, no. Ambition to match expectations in a long term. Long term. In the future, not now. But the question is, to match whose expectations in the long term? Chelsea. Listen, this is not Arsenal, which the long term never comes. The long-term project, it doesn't work nowadays in football. It doesn't. It is about what you win now that counts. When you start winning, the business aspect of it comes naturally. Yeah, when you start winning, the business aspect of it, the money you want to make, it comes naturally. That's why Real Madrid are still big. You think Real Madrid, they started planning and they say, 5 years time. No. They don't do that. From the time of Galacticos, you remember the Galacticos? Oh yes, I witnessed it. If you asked, maybe you, but then most of you were still, I witnessed the Galacticos. David Beckham's their era. Beckham, you remember those days? I witnessed it. From then till now, they have never lost touch with, winning. Even when things began to, slop a little bit, that was when they now brought in Jose Mourinho to revive the rivalry between them and Barcelona. Since then, after Jose Mourinho, they tried Rafa Benitez, it didn't work out. In a short spell, he was sacked. They brought in Zinedine Zidane. And since then, they've been up and up and up. Dear friends, right now as we speak, it is difficult. The business model that they want to go for, let me tell you something. It's one of the reasons why we struggle to get a front of shirt sponsor. Front of shirt sponsor. Throughout this season, we never had a front of shirt sponsor. Now we understand. And looking at Chelsea's position, it looks like there is a hope of getting to Champions League. So we are just about to get a deal for our front of shirt sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea is in talks with FPT software giant, a Vietnamese technology company, to become its main sponsor. The estimate value of the FPT software deal could be around £60 million per year. You see what it means? The deal is not yet done. They are in the negotiations. Paraventure Chelsea qualify for the Champions League. Then this is a free money. A year, £60 million, free money. Front of shirt sponsor. FPT. Well, that's a sample there you can see on Copama. That is a sample of how the design will look like. That is just to show how the design might just look like. FPT. Dear friends, £60 million. That can happen only when we are the Champions League. We don't even have front. We don't even have the shirt arm sponsor. Before those days we used to have a sponsorship also on the arm, on the shoulder. We don't have any. For you to understand how much money Chelsea is losing, because we are not in the Champions League. Quickly, we understand Chelsea are going to be selling some players, about 11 to 12 players this summer, in order to raise funds to buy a striker. That is what we are hearing. But it marvels me. In fact, not just marvels, it baffles my mind when we are spending £74 million on two teenagers, and we are saying we must sell before we can buy a striker. It doesn't make sense. Sometimes when things like this comes up, you'll be wondering whether it's just a PR work or the insider news that we are receiving are not accurate. Dear friend, we just bought two teenagers for 74 million. So it's not as if we don't have the money to buy a top-notch striker. To get a striker we need right now, we need not less than 70 million, between 70 and above million. And we just spent 70 million to buy two teenagers, which only God knows whether they will succeed or not in Chelsea. But you see, these are the players that we expect Chelsea to sell in this summer. Yes, it is written. From last summer, we expect most of these players to go. Unfortunately, they couldn't get a club. Some are on loan. Some have gone on loan. Now let me start. Raheem Sterling is on loan with Arsenal. We all know that. Ben Chilwell on loan. Kepa Arrizabalaga is on loan. That's one of our goalkeeper. Datro Fofana on loan. Disasi on loan. Joao Felix, Viega, Armando Broa. Chalobah has just returned. We brought Chalobah back. Alfred Gilchrist is on loan. Then Chukwuemeka. These players are all expected to be sold in the summer. Chalobah is back, but it's understood that he is also likely to be sold in the summer. Now, these are not bad players. Like I said yesterday, I believe it's about the system we are playing. John Terry emphasized on the same thing, talking about the kind of defenders we have. The biggest problem with recruitment has been the experience, not the youngsters. The biggest, problem Chelsea have with our recruitment style is not because the players are young, it's about the experience of the players. Felix, Kenan Newsbury Hall, Christopher Nkunku. Yes, I didn't mention Christopher in the first list. Sterling, Disasi, Badashile, Sanchez. These are all experienced players. So it's not about the players being not having the experience or the requisite experience to play. No, it is about the system. Because look at Joao Felix, Kenan Dewsbury Hall, Christopher Nkunku, Sterling, Disasi, Badashile, Sanchez. These players are good players, but they don't fit the system. They are not fitting into Chelsea's system. Enzo Maresca has to do something. I was so glad when even John Terry came up and made very clear, Reece James is not a midfielder. He is a right back. Club need to sell all these players. Why? Just because of the system we are playing. We don't want to. Come to think of this, playing from the back every time, playing from behind. Whilst we can play direct football and win. It is a game of football, not a game of wins any longer. For me, I think the fans take more excitement, more joy from when the team wins than just playing beautiful football. I don't think many people out there, if you ask Chelsea fans, they will tell you it's not about the beautiful football we want. We want to win trophies. It's what gives us joy. Beautiful football and you are losing. Every night you go to bed with a broken heart. I'm about to run out quickly before I go to African news. We understand. You see John Terry on our centre back situation, talking about centre backs, defenders. He said we have a lot of strength in depth there. Formation plays a part. Formation, the system plays a part. Whether we played 3 at the back, 5 at the back, or Reece James drifting inside where we start as a 4 and then become a 3, it's a little bit confusing, to be honest. We have all these defenders we have in another setup, another formation, they'll flourish. That is what John Terry tried to say. So you see that everybody's laying the blame at the doorsteps of Enzo Maresca. I'm not too sure whether the ownership, they actually know what they are doing. And it is the duty of the sporting directors and the coaches to explain things further. The sporting directors themselves, they lack experience. Ladies and gentlemen, it is your breakfast. I will not take you much. Let's now get to some international news and our hands off. We start on England. Thomas Tuchel and England. Yes, Thomas Tuchel will be in charge of his first game for England as their national head coach. Ahead of the game, he was speaking and he said a few things. I just want to point out one. Why Chelsea fans love Thomas Tuchel? Why Chelsea fans love Thomas Tuchel? The words that comes out from his mouth. Thomas Tuchel on England, he said, we are not Argentina. We are not Spain. We can adapt to stuff, but the DNA is clearly English. What is Chelsea DNA? The DNA is clearly Chelsea's, it's clearly English. It means it's tough, and ready to fight. It's tough and ready to... You see, this is where Thomas Tuchel... Very soon, England fans or English fans will begin to appreciate the reason why Chelsea fans so much love Thomas Tuchel. Because he's a proactive coach. Very pragmatic. Very pragmatic. All he wants is to win. It's tough. But the aim is to win. Dear friends, quickly. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Nigeria is playing far away. Yes, far away in Rwanda. Rwanda versus Nigeria tonight. Rwanda versus Nigeria tonight. All the way in Amahoro National Stadium, Kigali. Amahoro National Stadium, Kigali. Nigeria versus Uganda. Rwanda. Nigeria. I don't know why I'm so much into Uganda. Nigeria versus Rwanda. Rwanda, yes. Tonight, it is expected that Nigeria will come out on top. At least, I'll be expecting Nigeria to come up. At least 2-0. At least 2-0. Nigeria go all out. This World Cup, like I said, it is indeed a World Cup like never before. Every team, every country wants to be there. Yes, 17:00. That's, I think, that's 5 p.m. African time. Nigerian game is 5 p.m. Africa. 17 is 5 p.m. in Africa. All right, 5 p.m. in Africa. That is 1 a.m. where I am. 1 a.m. in Southeast Asia. Okay, yes. Amahoro National Stadium, Kigali. World Cup qualifier. Then Ghana is playing host. Ghana is playing host to Chad. Ghana is playing host to Chad at the Accra Sports Stadium. Ghana is playing host to Chad at the Accra Sports Stadium. Tonight, Ghana versus Chad. And the time is 7 p.m., which is 3 p.m. in Southeast Asia. 3 p.m. in Southeast Asia. Ladies and gentlemen, to be here in this part of the world, some of the games, it's difficult to actually watch it. 3 p.m. in Southeast Asia. 7 p.m. if you're in Ghana. 7 p.m. if you are in Ghana. But in Southeast Asia, it is 3 a.m. Sorry, 3 a.m. 3 a.m. I'm sorry, 3 a.m. Early Momo. Early Momo, Ghana versus Chad, 3 a.m. Quickly, before I let it go, in 30 seconds, Club World Cup trophy has arrived at the bridge, Stamford Bridge. Yes, the trophy is on tour. This Club World Cup trophy is on tour and it has arrived in Stamford Bridge, SW6. Yes. Oh, I'm giving the Stamford Bridge, the address. If you want to go to Stamford Bridge, the address is SW6. London, SW6, that's the address. If post any letter, it goes to SW6. Stamford Bridge, yeah, the Club World Cup trophy is on tour and it's right now, as we speak, at the Chelsea Football Club at the bridge, Stamford Bridge, SW6. If you want to view it, you are around England, you want to see the trophy, feel eye to eyeball to eyeball. You go to the bridge, it has landed there. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, let me leave you guys. I'll be back with more exclusives later in the day. Remember, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Enjoy yourself. See you on the next one when you see me. Shalom and peace.